Alright everyone, welcome to the first tutorial video where I'm going to show you a little bit more about how to navigate the website. So right now we're logged into Blackboard. This is generally what you're going to see as soon as you log into the Blackboard site. Head over to the right hand side here where you can find our class. It might be a little higher or lower based on how your menu is set up on your computer. When you head in, let me switch over to student preview mode. When you head into the course, you're going to see the list on the left hand side, which shows you all the things that we've got going on. Each class will be listed here. When you first log in, you may not actually see all of these classes because I haven't built the content out this far. The only thing I have in most of these right now are due dates. We're in the first two where you guys are going to be starting. This is pretty well built. I'm now just reaching the point where I'm just finishing up the videos for you guys. So looking at what we got over here, your classes each week, I've tried to be as clear as I possibly can to tell you when they're starting and when your due dates are going to be. So watch out for those. And the announcements, I will have some, I just don't have any yet. Right now I'm focused on getting the content built for you all. So if we go here into the start section, you're going to have all the stuff introducing you to the course, and you'll have places where you can drop those assignments that we were handing out before break. So as you remember, the short story and the journal, those were actually originally due last week, but now they're going to be due a week later on the 23rd, which is cool. And then Coraline kept the same due date. That was the one we switched with the cultural push assignment. So with these, let's actually start there. So if you want to upload an assignment, let's say you've got your Coraline document, you just click on Coraline and you're going to swing down here to browse my computer. And what you're going to do is you're just going to hit browse and go to wherever that file is. And most of you probably are used to doing that because you've uploaded assignments via email before. It's going to work the exact same way. As soon as you've got that selected, you're going to go down here and submit it, right? When you do your journals, you'll have the option to actually write a response with the right submission piece, but for your actual written assignments, the larger scale ones that are worth more points, please actually submit them as a PDF document as you can. I actually am okay with you doing it as a Word document as well, but PDF's kind of nice because it'll actually show up the way you intended to. So for example, let's say you did it in a Google Doc, and if you were to transition it over to a PDF, it's going to just look more natural to what you want it to be than if you try to switch it to a Word document. The margins might get messed up, or the actual length of it might get messed up in translation. With a PDF, that's not going to happen. So let's go take another look at some more things that are in here. There's a welcome video I made for you guys that's in there now. In the start here section, eventually that's going to transition over to tutorials, of which this is actually included, to give you some tips on how to do things. So this video will probably be listed right there, and any more that I find that might be helpful for you in helping you navigate the course or get through the course. Down here, there's just a fun video. Check that out when you get in. And let's go take a look at the actual first class day, because this is sort of a wrap-up video and a way to get you guys launched into the course. So the 23rd, that is our official first day of class. This is what the online class actually looks like. So when you go in here, you're going to see we've got blue text and we've got the red text, which indicates you have some things to do. Let's take a look at some of this. Now the Newberry, this one actually has some links in there for you to check out. The poetry video has a link in a couple of videos, and the read alouds are actually straight videos. These are some videos we'd like you to take a look at. Now the read aloud videos and any content folder you see up here are going to be related to discussion pieces are down there. Generally, if I'm going to give you a content folder like this, it's going to have a discussion that's related to it. And the idea is, in the case of, let's say, the read alouds, you'd actually go in here, you'd watch the 3 videos, which aren't too long, only like 5 minutes or less. And once you're done watching those, you're going to go down to the discussion, and let's go look for the read aloud one. There it is right there. You click on the blue text, and then this leads you to the first discussion. To head over to the discussion, you're going to click here, and there it is. Now it's going to look a little different. I'm still building this, and it doesn't need to say click here first anymore if you're wondering why it says that. Originally I didn't realize I could put the discussions in where you wouldn't be able to put a thread, and I fixed that, so I'm going to be fixing some of the directions too. But the way you do it remains the same. After you get in here and you're going to see the discussion, and it sort of started on with some directions of what to do, you're just going to hit reply. Right here, you would click on that, and then down here you're going to post your or build your message and then post your reply. So when you reply to this and you come up with an idea for what you want to throw into the discussion, please just put some thought into it. You don't want it to be one-word answers. And after you've built that, go ahead and hit submit. Now, the one thing you want to be careful of is that you don't accidentally hit save draft. I've seen students or heard of students doing that before, and this is a useful tool, but you don't want to make that mistake. So what could you use save draft for? Well, let's say you get halfway through your thought with the discussion piece and then something comes up. Maybe you were cooking dinner at that time or someone calls you over, you have to stop. Just hit save draft and you can come back to it later and finish up what you were doing. When you're ready, hit submit, and I really highly suggest that after you've done it, go out and then back in again to make sure it actually posted and that you didn't actually hit save draft. The other thing you want to do is just make sure it actually went through after you hit submit, so it's good to go double check. Alright, let's head back to our class on Monday again. So again, you'd watch a read aloud, then go participate in the discussion. The same thing goes for these two, with the exception of the poetry. This one is a little unique. So in this one, there's a couple of videos that kind of teach you some things, and then there's a link down there as well. And after you've checked those out, you're going to notice that when you go to the discussion, this doesn't have a thread that's already created by me. So in these, you've only got one option, that's reply to the one I've made, but in this one, you're actually going to be creating a thread. So when you click on it, you're not going to see anything here, and it might seem a little weird if you're the first one in. If you're the second or third one in, you'll actually see some other people have posted, but when you go in here the first time and you're actually putting your poem in, you're not going to reply to any just yet. The first thing you're going to want to do is go up here to create thread. And you would click on this, which is where you're going to put maybe the title of your poem, or you're just going to say my poem, something along those lines, and then you're going to put your poem in here. If you decided to do a haiku or an acrostic poem, it might be really short, but that's the idea. I really don't want you going beyond 10 lines in this. We want to keep it short because of the fact that we don't want people to get overwhelmed by this. It's more about you getting the experience. And after you've created your poem, you go ahead and hit submit, and that's going to create a thread. And that thread's going to look like the discussion I showed you a minute ago that I had started that you can reply to. You'll have the option to reply to other people's poems. You can reply to your own, but what I really recommend that you do is after you've posted yours, go ahead and reply to another poem or two. Check them out. See what your classmates have made. There might be some really cool things that people you know have made. If you got a friend in class, you want to see what they made, you might want to give them some kudos and say, great job. So if you see some, go ahead and do that. With these, I'm not going to limit you to how many times you can comment. You can comment on at least 2. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. But if you want to go look at everyone's poems, I think that's fantastic because you got a lot of really great people in this class. You're probably going to make some really awesome stuff. So go ahead and check that out. Again, let's go back to the class and just check things out. So the other thing I want to point out that is down here are your assignments. So this is just like that slip I used to give you in class, where I would give you your readings and then the assignment for next week. You will notice that only the journal is due for the 30th for an actual assignment. There actually is some reasons behind that. I wanted to give you all a week to kind of get used to doing the online class. Once you get used to doing it, you're going to realize it's really not too bad. It's just taking the time to watch the videos and check some stuff out and respond to it. So as you move forward, just keep in mind the readings are just like they always were. You get them the week ahead of time. We'll give you the stuff to do, and then the assignments will be listed what's actually going to be coming up here in this section. And just like I did in class, I'm probably going to show you the stuff that's coming up in the weeks ahead too, just so you know what's coming. But for the most part, you'll see that stuff over here. Again, at the beginning of the year, or the beginning of this online version of this class, not everything's going to be there. The only stuff as of Monday that will be ready to go will be these two, the start here and then the class for the 23rd. I'm going to encourage you always to check each week to see if anything has changed or been uploaded in here. I'm thinking of trying to find a way to designate that it is actually complete so you'll know if you're the type of person who wants to do some things ahead of time, that you'll know that you had access to everything. I'll let you know as we get a little bit closer what that looks like. But for now, this is the gist of it. Remember, the blue stuff is the content you want to check out. Each one of these is going to refer to a discussion down here if it's showing up. And this is as it always was. And if it's red, it means you have something to do. If it's just a assignment or a journal, it will be indicated as such. You're going to upload your journal file, or you're going to upload the document for any assignment that's been due. And the discussions themselves, you just want to make sure that you're getting ahead on these. I will make one more recommendation on these. Please don't wait until the end of the week to do them. It's going to make it harder for you. I really suggest trying to do this by the beginning of the week, just so you can kind of get things rolling, and then later on in the week actually take part in the discussions. If you try to only do this on one day, you're going to run into some trouble probably. It just won't be as high quality work. So try to stay on top of things. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I love hearing from you guys. Please do so via email. It's much harder for me if you do it via messages on here. I don't use those, whereas I'm on my email much more frequently. So again, good luck with everything, and if you have questions, get in touch.